There she goes. Trying to get some footage of her running up and down the house. Got this shotgun house, and I don't know what it is. It's 10:30 at night here, and back and forth, just running back and forth. Whatever. What I got here is package in the mail, and I know the channel has become mostly an unboxing endeavor at this point. I try and mix it up, and I understand I used to do a lot more podcasts than I do. I'm fully aware of all this. But time being what it is and such, I guess this is where we're at. I do spend probably most of my time updating the Hexes and Soldiers Facebook page. That's where any of my free time as far as this stuff goes these days. But I do have the Red Barricades, new Red Factories rather, map set up, so maybe I can get you some footage of that in the coming days. But got this in the mail, and small little thing, shouldn't take too long. Yeah, I don't remember where I first saw this, and it didn't really catch my fancy initially, but saw it again, and I thought, maybe I'll give it a shot. Could be something interesting. And I've gone on record as saying one of the reasons I don't like Combat Commander is because of the cards. But that said, there are tactical cards available for ASL. I don't know how many of you knew this. And I tried to look up and see who put these out, who's behind this. I don't know. There's something on Board Game Geek with these, but no information regarding who put these out. Obviously, I haven't used them yet because just got them. But let's take a look at these. What do you get here? You've got a little tuck box and about 108. Got some notes here. 108 cards inside. See if I can open these without destroying everything. These were first introduced at ASLOC 2017. I don't know how long these were in development or anything about them, really. What in the hell? Alright. There we go. Well, they're wrapped well, so you don't have to worry about that. Let me bring you down here. Alright. There we go. There's the cards. These are compatible, so it says, with nearly any ASL scenario. I'm not sure what scenarios or why they wouldn't be compatible with all of them. But compatible with most scenarios. I don't know what this is. Now here we go. Here's some information. Design and layout. Good Lord, the font. I can't even read that. I would love to, I can't read it. It's just the way the font is on the very back of this. Copyright 2017. I apologize whoever put these out. You got some tactical playing cards rules. Huh, interesting. So what I've learned just by the way of prefacing these, I was under the impression you take, each player draws 6 cards. Each player chooses and keeps 2 of them. The remaining cards form a pool. And then by random determination, that's how you figure out who goes first. Then you take turns drawing the cards that form the pool until you each have your hand. And that, again, as far as I understand, you can play them when able. It's a similar concept to the Heat of Battle rules within ASL, yet a little different. So I would love to read all of these to you, but I'm not gonna do that. So let's do a couple examples here. Card number 1, Bullet Peppering, is the title, and it says used during any friendly fire phase. So again, I was unclear on this, but I guess there's stipulations on when you can use some of these cards, maybe all of them, It varies. Some of these cards vary according to the phase that's in effect. So again, this one can be used during any friendly fire phase. And what happens? Well, you play this card to give assault or spraying fire capability to one good order squad or fire group composed of all good order squads for one attack. And each of these cards has there's duplications in the art, but the photographic renderings, artwork, etc. So here's an example of the card I just read. There's the back. Nice glossy cards. So there's 1, 2, 3, 3. So there's 3 for the friendly fire phase. Looks like you have 1 that can be used, or rather 1, 2, a couple during the rally phase. Let's do another example here. Close action, old style. Card number 7, used at the very beginning of the close combat phase. Play this card to announce that both players may add the firepower of 1 light machine gun per possessing squad when computing close combat odds during a close combat phase. Not allowed for close combats melees in bamboo, building, jungle, marsh, swamp, and from or versus pillboxes. Why do you need these? You don't. You don't need these. You may not even want these. Most people won't. I didn't. I just got them out of a morbid curiosity more than anything. Don't know that I will use these regularly. I will use them just for the experience of using them. I like the idea. I like how people, somebody took the time to do this. They obviously love the game. They wanted to do something more for it. Not that it needs anything done, but I get it. I have the same inclinations myself often enough. But it can add a lot of interesting flavor if you want to go that route. Again, you've got 108 cards here. Lots of stuff. Card 99, Precarious Revival. Used at the start of a friendly movement phase. Why? Well, you can play this card to remove a UK counter and replace it by an inexperienced crew counter. Any other armor leader is eliminated. Let's see. Ooh, interrupt. You use this interrupt card when your opponent plays a card. Play this card to cancel the effect of your opponent's just played card. Again, yeah, I can see where people would turn their nose up at adding this. ASL has enough going on without being interrupted or something added. I understand, but I appreciate the effort that was put into this. And again, I will try this out just for giggles. Well, this is not something I will be conforming to on a regular basis. As far as the rules go, says getting cards. Remove cards 92 through 100 from the deck if playing an infantry only scenario. Oh, interesting. And then it says after side selection, deal to players A and B a number of cards equal to the number of game turns. So if the game was 6 turns, that's where you get the 6 cards. If it was 7 turns, you draw 7 cards each. Add 1 card per player per multiple of 20 squads in the scenario's total order of battle. Step 2, each player keeps 2 hidden cards in his hand. The others are revealed to form a joint card pool. Players A and B alternate picking cards from the joint card pool. Until the joint card pool is exhausted. Players shall start the scenario each with 2 cards face down and the others face up and available for inspection by the other player. Any extra card drawn during the game will be hidden. Tactical playing cards rules. Let's see. That was getting cards. This is playing cards. Only 1 card can be played per player turn per player. Exception: interrupt cards do not count under this limit. When a player wishes to play a card, he names/reveals it, applies the effect, then places the card into the discard pile face up to remember the card limit per player turn. Flip the played and discarded cards at the end of each player turn. Instead of applying its nominal effect, every card can be played to apply an alternate minimum effect. That describes what that is, etc., etc., and I still can't read the back. Design and layout. Mr. 1? Am I reading that correctly? You got some proofreading. I don't see any play testing stats. I'm sure it was though. Alright, copyrighted as well. So, for those of you that are interested, you can get these tactical playing cards. You can get them from, I got these from the Gamer's Armory. They're doing good stuff these days. I don't know if Ritter Krieg has these. May or may not. Ritter Krieg's also doing good stuff. But if you like fiddling around with different things, you might get your hands on one of these. I think Second Chance Games is also selling those. So that's it. Just want to share that with you, and hope you guys enjoy your day tomorrow, and talk to you later.